I think my earliest memory was when I was about 7 or 8, watching the news with my mum and dad in Zimbabwe, and I think a politician came on the telly. Then from instinct, I just felt the need to draw him. Then I guess after I showed my mum, and she's just like, "Oh wow, there's an uncanny resemblance." And I guess since that moment, I've always sort of known that I was good at something. And now the reason that I try to be creative as possible is, I think it's from complete urgency. Like, I feel the need to be creative because I've probably something to do with the fact that I'm very spiritual myself, and I understand there's a very close relationship to my spirituality and my creativity, and I think I develop my spirituality and my creativity as I go on. It's sort of a safe place for me when reality doesn't seem to be going so great. I can create my own tiny worlds, and they just are my worlds, and they're so perfect and in how they are because they're just my world. And I guess it's just the need to be away from reality. It's like escapism, you would say. Like a project I did, Ronnies Gyal. I did Ronnies Gyal, and that was basically based on my dad, and I was just trying to explore my relationship, or the lack of relationship with my dad, since I left him at the age of like 9 in Zimbabwe, and I haven't seen him since. So I just wanted to, I guess, see if I could build some sort of relationship through painting, because I understand that's how I express myself as a human being. There's that understanding of, I'm not going to create a relationship through paintings, but what I am going to do is create pieces that do tell a story of my dad, not just of my dad and me, but just of him. And I think that's enough to just appreciate him in that sense. But yeah, so you just create art out of urgency and a need to tell a story, you know? In 2011 or 12, I actually painted this painting of Frida Kahlo, and one of my friends just decided she wanted it, so I guess I gifted to her. Like, I'm very detached to my painting, but I even wrote a little note, and it says, "Minion, one day you'll be soppy," because I guess she doesn't know, or she doesn't like much of being soppy or in love. So this is quite dear to me because of the person I gave it to. And this one is a self-portrait. I love doing self-portraits. This was in a sketchbook, so I probably just sat down with a sponge and started dipping and everything, and then got a paintbrush and I started stippling and going into detail. I'm pretty impressed with the detail of this because it's very, very small, but I don't know, I managed to capture some element of me, and that's all I wanted. It's from a picture that I took of myself after a very bad breakup, and every time I break up or I'm in a bad state, I tend to paint or just immerse myself in something quite creative. The self-portrait I did when I moved houses with a friend, and she's a very creative being, and she's just a person that continues to inspire me, and I don't know, she forces me to be creative, and this was the only time I could be abstract about me. A sketchbook, and I made a whole series of a comic book, which I still need to self-publish and complete, but this was going to be the cover, and I am pretty proud of it because I tried to influence the whole African thing there. There was this little sculpture in the house that we lived in, and it's a part of my history now because I understand where I was at that time. But this is my pride and joy, my actual dad. I painted this because I really missed him, and it took me a long while to sit down, and it took me about 2 months to start this project after just sketching his face just to try and get the dimensions right. And then I sat down and I roughly drew this on the canvas. This is unfinished. This needs my dad's face there, but My dad there was this night my dad came at home and from work, and he had a beer, and every night he would roast some nuts. So that's like a very fond memory of mine. I thought that was something I should really capture, because I have a really bad memory and I've forgotten most things about my childhood. So I needed to tell a story that was very close to me, and the fact that it was so close to me has made it quite difficult for me to put it on in a visual representation, I guess. I'm an artist because I am talented, but besides that, I think I'm an artist because I need it to survive. It's a way for me to completely just escape from reality, and sometimes you definitely need to escape from reality.